Back to it. We're starting case 2 of the Greatest Attorney Adventures.
In a corner of that small, dark room, Sholmes and I waited with bated breath. In time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. "You see it, Wilson?" he yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air. I raised my dark lantern's shutter, and the room slowly came into view. Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The speckled band. I believe this is the terrible coil to which you referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible speckled band I had ever seen.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Pray, do excuse me. The cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle. A Russian word. So the victim was a Russian man then. And the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality. This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident, by the victim himself, I would venture. Well, what have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
No one must touch before maritime police come. We must wait.
Shh. That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
What? Don't be absurd. This is murder. I need cabin locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Who are you, and where have you come from?
I'm a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world. Sherlock Sholmes. I presume you must have heard of me.
It's him. My head is throbbing. What's going on? Something's not right here. There's trouble in the air. Huh? Wait, I can't move. Oh, great! What the? Why am I in handcuffs? Oh boy. See, what I now, We had to drag you down out of the wardrobe. I do not believe you could not wake up. You are too cool-blooded, man. You found me then. We found you. And now you pay. Criminal. How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe, Sorry. Now you have been found. You've done you to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how the cold the ocean is, hmm? No, I'll tell you everything. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Isn't that... Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Mr. Sato. Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? Where is he? Where's Kazuma? Ha! You pretend not to know. You are the wolf in sheep's pellet. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses. What? Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not long ago. Here, in this very cabin, that was bolted shut from inside. His body? Please, do not try to tell that you are doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Kazuma's dead? But he can't be! And these handcuffs, sure you don't think I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please. I cannot do a good no. Kazuma, it was just 2 short weeks ago. You sure about this? Won't we get in trouble? Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study? If it was really something else when they brought your luggage in here early though. That way the Crusher crewman just tossed your traveling case onto the floor. Oh, I thought I was going to die. Yes, I still can't quite believe that. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. You must be even less a man than you look. Hey, honestly, I thought I broke every bone of my body. Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Great Britain. But if you confine yourself into my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you. I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway. They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? From our faithful judicial assistant, Mikotaba, you mean? From your close friend, more to the point, surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away. No, but if she knew what we'd done, that would make her guilty of by association. It's best that you and I only know about this. I suppose so. Anyway, it's about the time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. I know it's cramped, but you'd better get in there, I think. It won't be for long. And anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'll be a breeze. Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? That'll be in for it. Stop worrying. I'll tell you what. Why don't you write "keep out" or something on this piece of paper? What? Then I can stick it on over the wardrobe once you're inside. I don't know. We've only been at sea for about 15 days. How can this have happened? We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England together. If we leave you at next port, stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. Murderer? No, I'm not a murderer. You said before, you said you would admit everything about the crimes. No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on this ship, but murdering my best friend? No one else could have done it. Admit the truth. Sato-san, please, tell me what happened. I need to know. Very well. But there's something I would like to ask of you, too. Eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me! This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I could do is try to find out what really happened. Alright, so Kazuma's death. He really has been killed, hasn't he? Since that just a bad dream. And these handcuffs, they think I did it? They think I'm Kazuma's killer? When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside. What do you mean? There's no access to the cabin via the porthole window, and the bolt on the door can't be operated from outside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls. What? Or, to put it another way, the culprit can only have been someone inside this cabin. Or do you have some other explanation? This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly? Are you still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances? Please, Sasota-san, you have to tell me! The cause of death is still undetermined. They don't know how he died? The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course, he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call. So presumably that means there were no obvious external signs of injury then. That's true, yes. Can anyone tell me what actually happened inside this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma? Presumably that's something you know the answer to better than anyone. Please! Whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all. Well, yes, I was, but... He would always wake before dawn to do his training, first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside the cabin, as I have every day so far in this voyage. But this morning he did not come. I could not sense that he wouldn't. Wait, does that mean he was already dead when Sasata-san arrived at his cabin door, I wonder? I knocked, but there was no reply. Then I started to become worried. This was a final member of the crew. The crewman forced the door open, and we managed to get inside. There was Kazuma-sama, collapsed on the floor. And the white tape there shows exactly where we found it, I suppose. I had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow. I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe. This is all very hard for me to believe too, trust me! Now, I've told you everything I know, so it's my turn to ask you a question. Yes, alright. My head feels so heavy! I feel throbbing like anything. So... why are you even on board this ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, yes, I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut in this cabinet the entire time. I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him noticing? No, that would have been impossible, obviously. Yes, of course. Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together. He actually asked you? But why? I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself. I don't understand. Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me into England with you? It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I, that you ought to become a real lawyer yourself. Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious. You have a talent for it, I can assure you of that. But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world, in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? Well, no, definitely not. But on a personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then what? Nothing. Forget it. Hmm? Kazuma-sama he was always saying the same thing, that he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you. Yes, maybe. But something's still bothering me a little. If you look in his eyes then, it was darker than I've ever seen it before. Sasata-san, I'm sorry that we kept it a secret for you. My stowing away on the ship, I mean. If I know Kazuma-sama, I expect he was trying to protect me, to avoid me becoming guilty by association. That's exactly right, yes. We're perfect, in fact. last night. If you're not the culprit, then tell me, what happened last night here in his cabin? Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Cosmo brought me something to eat, just like he always did. Then I got myself into that wardrobe out over there, just like I always did. After that, I fell asleep? Well, yes. So deeply that you didn't even stir when Cosmo was killed? Well, yes. I know it sounds unbelievable. Really, I do. But it's the truth. If I had woken up, that perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. For some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything. Really. Is something wrong? Oh, no, it's... Please, forget it. Sasota-san, you have to believe me. I didn't do it. I really don't want to doubt you. But the trouble is, there is no one else who could possibly have done this. Kazuma, I don't understand. Why? Why does this have to happen? Can't take this! Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen. I'm sorry, but Kazuma was killed right under my nose here, and I didn't do anything to stop it. And now I'm supposed to just sit around? My hands tied while whoever did this walks free? I can't allow that to happen. Well, what do you propose to do then? I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life, and how and why they did it. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. Hiya! Ah! Frick! Ah! What the? That was a Sasato takedown. Sasato what? What martial art form is that? I'm going to need you to prove it. Sorry, prove it? Yes, your innocence. I need evidence. But how much was it supposed to... Have you forgotten already what you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in a court of law. I see. She's expecting you to present some conclusive evidence? I have to get Sasato-san to believe me. I'll share some evidence right now that proves I'm not guilty of this crime. I forgot how Cosmo reacted. Do you expect the Russian crew to be able to read that? He said. Still, I was sure people would get the idea, even if they couldn't read it. So we used it anyway. And it worked. I don't know if the crew thought it was creepy or what, but no one opened the doors. I don't see how the pin could do it, but...
Yes!
Tell me, when was I discovered in the wardrobe before? Was this piece of paper... Was this piece of paper stuck over the doors? Oh, yes it was. I remember clearly. I thought so. Cosmo always put it in place whenever I went to sleep in there. Excuse me. Just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. So naturally, he did the same last night as well. Ah, yes, of course. The gentleman who discovered you peeled the sign from the wardrobe doors before he opened them. But if I were really the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside the doors on my own. Yes, it's quite true. In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma. Well, even if you are sprawled hopelessly on the floor, I can see why Kazuma thought so highly of you. Thank you, Sasato-san. Now, do you think perhaps you could help me up? Yeah, this would be nice. Well, in the light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating here at least. Thank you. So you finally believe me? I'm sorry, no. What? I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you'd use some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position. What does she think I am? The magician? For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. I'll do the same. Alright, let's get to work, Sasada-san. Please, don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts. Oh. I shall be watching you, to make sure you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example. Right. Well, anyway, I should make a start on investigating this in here. Examine everything I can. Kazuma, I swear, I will avenge your death. Alright, examine. What's that? These are the rules of passage for travel abroad, the SS Burya. It's essentially a list of requests from the captain to all passengers aboard. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. What? Why are you staring at me? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking, are you more of a dangerous object or a pest? I can't decide. Well, one thing for sure, either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. Oh dear, that won't do. Oh, what's the matter, Sasada-san? Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused I forget to look around properly. Yes, that's not good. I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard. Are you know how to defend? Oh! I'm sure you carefully look around by using aren't you? Now let's investigate all corners of this cabin. Yes, let's do that. I suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now. So how about the sword? That's Kazuma-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it. Yes, he was always saying that the Japanese man's katana is his soul. I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring this on this trip. I suppose that shows how important it was to him. And now he's gone, but I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet. That's my dinner from last night, a roast chicken. It was really tasty. Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But did you eat it on the floor here? I'm not a dog, Sasada-san. I ate it at the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor. But Kazuma-sama didn't like chicken at all, did he? No, that's right. So he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me. Oh no, does that mean Kazuma-sama left his last not on his earth with an empty belly? It's just too horrible. Now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach. What is that? What do you think this is? It looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever that thing it appears to have broken and cleaned it too. The glass is such a beautiful color. It looks like a cute little Netsuke fastener from a kimono outfit. I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like that around with him, would he? And the mark beside it, what is it, I wonder? It has a sort of brick-like hue. Yes, you're right. Is it the color brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere in the cabin. Okay. Did Cosmo write that before he died? It looks like it's written in ink. He must have knocked the ink pot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his finger in the spillage. Or Cosmo-sama. No doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine it. Suppose he's trying to leave some kind of clue in his final moments. Was he? I'm sorry, partner, but I can't read your writing. I don't think that's Japanese, not heard. That's not. What gave you that idea? What? What language is it? It pains me to admit, but I don't know. I think it's Russian. It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What is it? What does it mean, I suppose? This is where dear Cosmo-sama would have sat whenever he was writing. London Diary. Poor Kazuma. He didn't even make it to his destination. It looks as though the last entry is incomplete. Which means, what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? Let's see what it says. It could be a valuable clue. Hi-ya! Ah! Let's ask a question. Huh? As if someone may have departed this world, but you may not read his private thoughts. But what if it's something important, something relevant to the case? Alright, I won't read it. Oh, Cosmo-sama, I don't like prying into people's personal matters either. But in this case, isn't the need for clues more important? That's a very large traveling case, isn't it? Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me. Memories? What do you mean? Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought in on the board that case. Yes, I see it says this way up in Japanese. Which, in hindsight, I should have realized that foreign crewmen wouldn't be able to read. I was turned over and over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor with here. Oh dear, being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds. Well, it was less painful than a Susato takedown. What about this ink? It's some 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe this entire time, Rahara? I think living isn't quite the right description. Oh? Oh, no. Oh, no, I suppose not. Although it must have been rather exciting making this voyage in your own secret hideout. The trouble was, I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. And last night was no exception. But because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin. No, sadly not. I've investigated thoroughly, but okay. I think that's some kind of opening for a ventilator. A hole through which fresh air could circulate into the cabin. Is that a little odd? What do you mean? Well, this ventilator. If that's what it is, it looks like it must connect to the next door cabin. Yes, it would appear to. You're right. But if its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, surely it should be connected to the outside. That's true. Perhaps it's so that rain and spray don't find their way in when it sees a rough or something like that. I suppose. Maybe that's it. What? Who's that? He wasn't there a minute ago. As far as I can tell, he looks like he might be European. Oh, how did he... You've noticed the man too, have you? I have no idea who he is or how he got here, but he looks suspicious and tall. Suspiciously tall. Naruhado-san, don't tell me. Do you really not know who that is? Well, no. I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. He doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. And he's investigating Cosmo's desk, or is he just playing on it? I can't tell. Well, in that case, we simply must talk to him with him. Am I just imagining things, or does Sasata-san almost look uncontrollably excited? By the way, I expect you noticed already, but just in case, you press A on people when they're in the crosshairs, you can converse with them. Alright then, I'll get that suspiciously tall gentleman in my sights and see what he has to say for himself. Oh, please do. Sir? Excuse me. Excuse me, do you have a moment? Shh, this is a critical point in my investigation. Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly. Yes, perhaps that would be for the best. Whoa! Greetings! I hope I haven't kept you long. Ah! What exactly were you doing at Cosmo's desk just now? I see. Fascinating. Sorry? What do you see? I feel like it's looking right through me. Oh yes, everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I presume, and just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. What? Sorry? What? And now, whilst venturing towards foreign climes, you find yourself in a most troubling predicament. Oh, well, that's true at least. But how? How the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was the most elementary deduction, highly worth explaining. Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else? But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being as you are a merciless revolutionary. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake, and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. And when the bare-ribboned occupant of his very cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Yes, I believe that summarizes the fact beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. Just to be clear, you aren't talking about me, are you? Certainly I am. Do you see another in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims in his name? I don't even see one person who fits the bill! So it's true. It was you who did this to Kazuma Sama. What? And you're plotting a revolution too! It's shameful behavior not a husband's son. Absolutely wicked. No! Listen, there's no way I... Yeah! Frick! Now explain yourself. Tell me everything. This is ridiculous. This is... Oh, boy. How could you do it? For pity's sake, open your eyes! I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously! Oh, forgive me. And as for you! What kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came to your head! But was I not right? Whilst venturing towards foreign climes, you did find yourself in a most troubling predicament. Do you not? Well, yes, maybe! Ha! There you have it, you see? What do you think of that, Well, to be honest... The ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of a murder, so I'm not really sure you could call it abduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed, an observation, my boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation of trifles, you see. I announce my findings with a brassy certitude. And more often than not, I'm right. I don't think you introduced yourself. My apologies. How remiss of me. I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women the world over. The inimitable Sherlock Holmes. So, it's really you. The actual... frick! The actual Sherlock Holmes. The very same, the inimitable, actual Sherlock Holmes. Do you know this man since the sun? The most famous detective in the world? Not a husband's son? Of course I do! There's nobody who hasn't heard of him! What have I been living on then? Well, sounds like what he deduced. He will have worked up this entire case, I'm sure. Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this? So, you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? Indeed, none other than the one and only Sherlock Holmes. Oh, I see. You're German Sherlock, was it? No, I have no hair. I have hair. Please call me Holmes. Holmes. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication. Oh yes, Ron's magazine, full of wonderful short stories and interesting articles from Great Britain. I never miss an issue. I have it sent from England especially. Yes, here it is. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. So, you're the protagonist in a series of short stories then? Indeed I am. And you've read so many of your own stories you've started to think you really are a detective? Make no mistakes, I'm not the poor deluded fellow you take me for. Your inference is backwards. Backward? my trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine. You have a biographer, do you? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London. Dr. Wilson? I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. Why, this very moment, I am returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of a cursed royal crown. Really, I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not. Deduction, you see, is to me a science, logical reasoning in its purest form. Science? Really? The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions in a subject. A furtive glance, a twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of the posture, fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows in the skin. All these things are data. Right. And a trained logician makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago. How can you look at me in the eye and claim that? So you see, I have a turn both for observation and for deduction in vain. That is what makes me the one and only Sherlock Holmes. Before we do anything, I want to show. Mr. Sholmes, what do you make of this? Shh, quiet. When I'm ruminating in the course of my deductions, nothing but disturb my mind. Oh, so sorry. Ah, an Indian curry, perhaps. What's he ruminating about? The lunch menu? Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? Have I managed to deduce anything? My dear fellow! Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? That's right. It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him. When I became anxious about Kazuma-sama this morning, I summoned all the crew members to force the cabin door open. And I concealed myself among their number, getting entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, looking for everyone, the great detective, Sherlock Holmes, was on board. And the handcuffs seemed to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruhodo. Ah! The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, two facts were immediately apparent to me. Oh really, two facts you say? Mr. Sholmes, tell us please, what two facts were apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning? Yes. But first, let us be precise. The two facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand. But what were they? Allow me to elucidate. The two facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number 1. The cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number 2. The victim was Russian, and killed following a dispute with an acquaintance. Hold on, Mr. Sholmes, what made you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. That is a Russian word for wardrobe. Do you really think Kazuma-sama could have left the dying message in Russian? In their final moments, many find native tongue filling their head. For this young man, Russian. Kazuma was Russian, was he? Initially, I considered garderobe may be the name of the killer. A certain Robert Guard, perhaps. But in the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong not to look inside the wardrobe, there at least, where you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly. Quite so, I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. Why is it that I'm Russian too? I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. And if my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people. Our school uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people? I had no idea! And I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong! I took a photograph of the victim and the message that I might analyze it for possible hidden details. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. Yes, Cosmo had already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this. Are you alright, Mr. Naruto-san? Yes, thank you. Okay. Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? What, pray? You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all that. Ah, yes, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth. Would you mind explaining the train of reasoning to me, do you think? Certainly, if that interests you. How many times? I'm not Russian, and I don't speak Russian!
I don't know if you know this, but I don't speak Russian!
Anyway. We've talked about the deduction before you concluded about me, I mean. Ah, the now famously accurate troubling predicament you find yourself in. Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 part. Ah, yes, the more sordid details. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads: Revolutionary Villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. This vessel made a port call at Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered. Since when was Cosmo a Russian? It sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded that he was Russian because of what Cosmo wrote on the floor. It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary, or one who would kill the very man who helped him escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you, villain Bolshevik. No, how can it be me? I don't look anything like this man. Just look at his face! Well, you are a fierce revolutionary, after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. Please! And I might add, your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more? Well, that's because I'm a stowaway. What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower. Ah yes, the journalist clearly interviewed the man, and printed all those particulars in the article. The deeds of the man has perpetrated thus far, and those he was plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There can be no mistake. Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters, I wonder? And what about the part where you said I was just returning from Afghanistan? Ah, quite. Clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik is recently returned after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn region of Afghanistan. Where even is it anyway? This Afghanistan part. Here, take the paper for yourself, as a little memento of this great deduction. Oh, thank you. I'm absorbed all of that is of interest to me within these pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby. And you may find the article on the back page of the Internet of Interest as well, on the back. Cast your eye over it sometime if the interest takes you, though you may need someone to interpret. It's all written in Russian. I couldn't hope to read it, but I suppose it wouldn't hurt just to glance at the article. Maybe there might be a picture or two. Okay. This is interesting. Does that look relevant for Naruto-san? Well, no, I mean, it looks like it might be interesting. I can't read a single word, I'm afraid. No, nor can I, but look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess. Do you think?
My spleen!
Thanks for the host. She's very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you enjoy articles like this, do you? I don't know. I can't make any sense of it. Ah, I'm glad you noticed this article. Ah! Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents. Oh, thank you. He pops up everywhere, Mr. Sholmes. It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. Renowned prima ballerina and of the Norovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. She is, of course, the talented young Nikolina Pavlova. Why are Russian names so hard to remember? It would appear the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing from her dressing room, wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 rubles. Oh, how much is 20,000 rubles? I have no idea, but I'm quite sure it must be an unbelievable sum of money. Susato-san's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. The tiara is the property of the Norovich Ballet. It would seem the director is beside herself with worry. Yes, I'm not surprised. The company is most anxious to recover both the Miss Pavlova and the valuable tiara. They requested the international assistance at all ports with sailings to Great Britain. Could this be another case of a Russian fleeing his or her country? It does seem to be the Russian thing to do. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruhodo. Okay. Okay, so, what were we just investigating? Before we started talking, you were examining Kazuma's desk, weren't you? Kazuma? Ah, yes, the victim. Did you notice anything useful, anything at all? Observe, for a moment, the desktop of the victim. We see that the victim was engaged in penning some text. London diary. Kazuma was keeping notes of the trip. Ah, but I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people. Tragic. And something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading. You mean you've read it already? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes. Believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what a Susato takedown is. Susato-san, aren't you gonna throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns? I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san. What on earth do you mean? Life is so unfair! Anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely, this diary belonging to the victim. It would appear that the final sentence is incomplete, as the author were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray, be precious of the details. Oh, but I thought you do Japanese. A smattering, dear boy. A smattering! Sayonara, bonsai, mikado. Nado nado. I trust you're suitably impressed. But this diary is littered with complicated-looking characters, of which I can read precisely none. So what was all that showing off before, then? If you would be so kind to show me, I would be happy to read it to you, Mr. Sholmes. I'm much obliged. My dear madam. The final entry here in Kazuma-san's diary consists of two short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I could hear a faint whistling sound. A whistling sound. These are very deep waters. Pray, go on. The second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. Well, it looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? What on earth does that mean? I have no idea. I've never heard that expression before. The ventilator grill, you say? The man was presumably referring to the lattice there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. Yes, the adjoining cabin. Alright. Okay, we got some information. So I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being, at least. Ah, do you have somewhere to go? As it happens, the victim's writings in his diary have piqued my interest. The matter warrants further investigation, I believe. And if I'm too long, the seasickness takes hold. Oh, I suppose you're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to. Great detectives are a curious breed. Our mind rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exaltation. So yes, I intend to investigate. Hence, the truth will become clear soon enough. You think perhaps we could go with you? No, that would be somewhat complicated. What? But why? A simple glance at your wrist should reveal the answer. Oh, please. After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter. No? There's no point trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as a culprit at any point. You must be joking! You just said it only a moment ago! Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I would have no cause to say such a thing. Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too. You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said you have the face of a criminal, you know. Not really. So what? Were you looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are. Oh, anyway, that was then and this is now. What do you mean? What I mean, sir, is this. You are the culprit. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. Now he's just being plain rude. And off he goes, having just laughed in my face. His sense of humor is as twisted as his name. But how does that? What are you just standing there for? Huh? I'm gonna go investigate the cabin next door as well. Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? There's no way I could. Hey, yeah! Seriously? After Kazuma spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a cue, you're willing to give up? You're just going to roll over and accept your fate? As if he gave me any choice of rolling over part. I think we still have some investigation to finish off in here first, don't we? Let's carry on examining what we can in this cabin while we wait for a chance to slip next door. Good idea. The situation doesn't look good for me, but there's still things I could do to help myself, and I owe it to Kazuma to do everything I can do to find a way out of this, and bring the real culprit to justice. Seigi, the Japanese word for justice. The brush strokes are straight and true, just like Kazuma. Yes, his calligraphy always was a reflection of his heart. Yet you, can you really look at those characters without feeling shame knowing who drew them so thoughtfully? Of course I can. I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to? Even though you stowed away in the ship? Now you're going to bring that up, are you? I can't win. Well, this person looks... excuse me? What? I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Would you mind if I investigated a little outside? Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but it is not true, I see. Sorry? The criminal asking prison guard to help him escape. Very funny. We're in the middle of the sea! There's no chance of me escaping! Nyet! You stay in this cabin until next port. Then it's up to Hong Kong police to decide what they do with you. You stay. Alright. There's no point in trying to appeal to this man's better nature, that's for sure. When I went for help, the crewman forced the door open. This bolt had been firmly closed. It's quite a small bolt, and not particularly sturdy, and it just slides across to secure the door shut. But still, with the door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure. It's no wonder everyone suspects me. When she glares at me like that, I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel, the culprit used a needle and thread to draw a bolt across from outside the room in a situation like this. Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? And I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself, but the door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal, and they seal together perfectly. There would be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid. When she glares at me like that, I feel pins and needles are all up and down my spine. The books have fallen over on the shelf. Look, they've all toppled the same way. And what's this? A statue of some god of the sea? Although he's fallen over as well. Yes, it's almost as if the whole shelf has been ransacked, and everything mowed down at once. I wonder if perhaps it was Kazuma-san doing his morning sword training, do you think? I seriously doubt it. And perhaps it was you, Naruto-san, in a fit of rage. I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue. So the way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder? Well, I'll just set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess. Oh, look over there. The crewman. Do you mean he wasn't there before, was he? That's what I thought. Why don't we try talking to him? Probably because I'm likely to get yelled at again. But I suppose I could try. Is something wrong, Naruto-san? Oh, no, it's just the crewman standing by the door. I can't help feeling I've seen him somewhere before. I swear, if it's the waiter. Oh yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir? Yes, what can I do for you? What can I do? It's the waiter, isn't he? It's totally him. I recognize that face, but it can't be. It's him! It is! I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosanaka. Hello again. What are you doing here? I think that should be my line. It was so sudden when I saw you. My heart stopped. Nearly stopped, I hope. I've received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew and board this ship. Again? You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector. If there's anything I can do to help you, please ask. I never expected to see this man on board, but perhaps his presence could help me out this hopeless situation. So, about the special order. So, what are your special orders this time, Inspector? Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew? I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I take full responsibility. For what? My orders were to act as the Sugi-san's bodyguard. Oh! It was Minister of Justice Jigoku who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Atsugi-san reached Great Britain before being assassinated. Assassinated? How could that even be a possibility? I'm not sure, but these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jigoku said that we should be prepared for all eventualities. This is incredible! I don't believe it! Kazuma-sama was assassinated? Obviously, we couldn't give Atsugi-san a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew. I see. And I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board, from morning until night, every day. But I never imagined it would happen here, inside his own cabin, not here on the first-class deck. I failed miserably at my assignment, and Atsugi-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize. Inspector. So if there's anything at all that I can do to help now, just say the word. Can we investigate? We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves. I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer? Of course not! We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door. Yes. So we need to be allowed out of this cabin. I'm sorry. What? You've been deemed a risk to the ship's safety. If you move to even touch the handle of the cabin door, that stormy-looking seaman would surely snap your neck in two. I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well. Would it be possible to give me something to work with, do you think? I'm going to need something persuasive. What do you mean? If I had a solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'd do everything I can to persuade this captain to allow it. Really, I'd lay my life on the line if I had to. But I don't see how... I have something. There may be a way. What? Really? Think of how you tried to persuade me of your innocence, Hana-san, by presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession. Evidence? It's just the same as when you were in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. Simply select the present panel and choose some evidence, be it that Inspector Hasanaga could use. So, evidence that would give us a viable reason to investigate the next door cabin, is it? Alright, yes. I think I might know what we might use. Let's see if I can present the detective with the evidence he needs to persuade the captain. Okay. It has to be this. What's that? It's Kazuma's diary. Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary. Strange? In what way? He wrote, what looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? That is strange. Yes, we were still trying to work out what he meant by that. But what I'd like to know is... Don't tell me. The ventilator, is it? You're very astute, Inspector. That ventilator clearly joins to the next door cabin. That's right, so if we could investigate in here, we might be able to work out what the speckled band was. Alright then. I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain is giving strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you. Really? You're willing to do that? Yes, as long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove those handcuffs, though. But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Asagi-san safe. This is the least I can do. Thank you. Let's seize the moment then. No, Hada-san. Let's move and we can go to the cabin at last. Move. Alright, let's see what we can find out. First class passageway. Let's go. 9th of January. Whew, I'm finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. It's less spacious out here than I thought it would be, and this is the most luxurious accommodation. Yes, indeed, Kazuma-sama was being sent on a study tour by the government. That's why he was put up in the first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as, like, accommodation in steerage. Really, that must be awful.